Hello, people. It's your boy Usmaan back again with another Manchester United podcast. We have got an absolute banging lineup for you boys. Listen, you're going to want to stay tuned for this. As you can see from the titles, we're going to be slugging the Glazers off, everyone's favorite topic. Obviously, if you're Glazers sympathizers, this is not the video for you. I'm just giving you a heads up because I'm telling you now, I can assure you, Sean in particular is not going to hold back. The man does not like the Glazers. He moved his whole day's schedule just so he could be on the show. But listen, let's get into it. Obviously, drop a like, subscribe to the channel. Obviously, get your comments. We've already got a few ready to go. We'll read them out very shortly. Just give me a second. But let me introduce the panel. First and foremost, we got the homie who was very, very kind to invite me onto their platform. Obviously, the homie works with Ty as well. Obviously, you man know about Ty. Part of Mercy FC and that. But Barrett is not part of my TMC. What are you saying, bro? How you doing?
I'm good, man. Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me. But let's get on to these topics because I'm ready to argue with you about Martial.
Yo, don't worry. I ain't got any pillows in it. I'm not going to that level now, but you know, I still got love there. But listen, like I already said, man moved his whole schedule to be on the show. We got a Yankee, love to love. We got Sean in the building. What are you saying, brother?
What's going on, Usmaan? I just want to say congrats on going through that 1K. We pressing to the 10K now. So for everyone in the free seats, like, subscribe, get involved, share the stream. Don't be in there for free. Not bigging up my guy over here. Make it happen. Let's go, people.
Yes, you'd love to see it. I always bring the positivity. We got the homie from United Team Talk. Listen, honestly, God, we've done so many shows of late. Honestly, I'm missing your smile. No, that smile. We wouldn't talk. I just introduced him on. We wouldn't talk for about 3 seconds. We'll just smile because we know we got away with murder, but we didn't get away with murder yesterday. What are you saying, Jerry, bro? Good to have you back on.
Yeah, man. Always a pleasure to be on the Usmaan Talks United channel. Hey, listen, let's just get straight into it, guys. Yes, United Team Talk, Jerry, on this, whatever, man. Just move on to Darren and let's get straight into it, man. Let's go.
Yes. Last but not least, we got eyes on the ball. Yes. The homie. One of the originals, you love to see he's back. Listen, what are you saying, Darren? Good to have you back on, bro.
Aye, bro. I'm chuffed to be back on, man. Long absence, but great panel. We got a lot to get into, man. United are on right now, and it's mad.
Yes, you love to see. Like the guys have said, there's a lot to get through. Obviously, just to go through some of the topics you guys know what to expect. I've already mentioned the Glazers. We're going to be talking about Ollie's situation. Obviously, everyone's thoughts in terms of the bigger picture, the issue with Maguire as a captain. Obviously, everyone's seen that video of Rashford. I want to see what everyone's sort of perception of that is. And obviously, the issue with not scoring. We've not scored in 3 games. I also seen the stat that we've got 7 nil-nils this season. I'm assuming that's in all competitions. I'm not double checked, but I'm assuming it is. And Leo Van Gaal, if I'm not mistaken, had 7 in this season as well. So we've already matched him, and we've got at least a good 15 games left to overtake. You know, you love to see it. Ty, love the boys all together. Perfect night for some big topics. Don't worry, bro. I got you, man. You're gonna fly them back. We're gonna get some comments in. Big round warning. I'll be devil's advocate for the Glazers. Let the debates begin. I've got
devil's advocate. What?
Yeah, I know what he's gonna say, man. I know what he's gonna say. The truth is, before the Glazers, the 2 hosts, Jockey's manager, McManus sold the controlling shares, and obviously, basically, everyone's just slagging the Glazers off. It was Fergie's fault. The club got sold to the Glazers. I don't know about that one, obviously. Let the boys talk about that evening from Jamie. Yes, boys, listen, keep getting your comments, and obviously, I'll go through as many as we can. Anyways, I'm waffling. Let's get into it. Barrett, first and foremost, bro, you know, Manchester United drawing again. How are you feeling about tomorrow, bro? Yes, Stephen, sorry.
Awful performance. But you could tell the team looked tired from the Chelsea game. That high press that we played, they looked knackered. And the thing is, we can't even rotate our squad because our players are out. Players like Van der Beek, Pogba, even Martial, not even on the bench either. So these players, we can't even rotate. Bruno and Rashford looked shattered. Everyone was poor last night. Apart from Henderson and Luke Shaw, everyone was poor. They should hang their heads in shame. Really, they were awful. Awful.
Yeah. No, to be fair, I'm going to pass that to Sean because obviously I want to get you guys' thoughts. But the fatigue thing, I've seen a lot of people saying this last night. I think Sammy Lockers put it out. So I don't know who it was. Some journalist saying that Man United have played 2 games each week, basically 3 games a week since God knows that December, obviously the Christmas period, etc. So they have played a lot of games. You know, as Barrett just said, not being able to rotate. Sean, is that a genuine excuse for you to sort of give him a bit of sympathy for yesterday's performance, or what are your thoughts on that?
Right, it's not a reasonable excuse for me. That's why you threw it this way, because yes, the guys look knackered. Yes, the guys look tired, but we have to ask who's to blame for that. We don't have other players in the squad that can be used. I mean, I almost fell off the chair last night when I was listening to this guy. Which, by the way, I'm calm about the game. I told you yesterday. I've known what it's been for over a year. I haven't changed what I've been saying. I mean, I'm not like I'm always at the wheel. Listen, I ain't the one. So at the end of the day, I love this club more than I love agendas and more than I love feel-good stories. And so I've called it like I've seen it for a while. This guy doesn't like to make the right rotations. Substitutions are always horrible. If the guys are tired, which they look knackered, right? They look knackered. Why are we always making substitutions in the 75th minute? Because we don't ever make a tactical substitution, because we don't change a game tactically. Rarely ever. But that's a topic for another day. Let's just say this. It sounds to me like a lot of excuses that we wouldn't have given under other managers. So here's the thing. Because they love this manager, it's always goes back to the Glazers. And we're going to talk today because I can't stand the Glazers. But here's the thing. I still know that we could win with the Glazers, because even though they're a bunch of leeches and some scrubs, the fact of the matter is they still – listen, you realize from 2013 to 2019, Manchester United was only outspent by Manchester City. We spent over $500 million. $500 million. So we can't say that we don't spend no money and all this kind of stuff that people say. The fact is, listen, they're knuckleheads because they don't let the structure be right. They're terrible owners. But let's not act like we never buy players for our managers, right? Let's not. The fact is, we need a director of football. That's not going to happen.
Absolutely.
Not we have a banker. But listen, Usmaan, for me, it sounds like a lot like an excuse to shift the blame away from the stuff we've been seeing for a while. And here's the facts. I've called it on tons of shows. Get ready, especially all these, Pogba virus folks, because now y'all are seeing. My mama used to say this, Usmaan. My mama used to say, you may not see it, you may not hear it, but because you aren't, now you're going to feel it. Y'all don't know about that, because sometimes life has to hit you till you feel it. So it's all Martial's fault. Pogba's a virus. Y'all feeling it now, because the fact is, we celebrate guys that run around. I saw people on Twitter last night, guys I do streams with. Oh, well, you know what we're missing tonight? We're missing Dan James and Scotty McPassion's blood and thunder. We need someone to run for the badge. As if City has anybody outside of, now they brought in Ruben Diaz, who will fight for the badge. Nobody. The fact is, we need tech, we need good coaching, and we man, don't get me started, bro. It just seems like an excuse to me. We're tired. Then guess what? Sub somebody. Please.
Please.
Oh my God!
Y'all should have left me in retirement. I'm sorry.
Oh my God! Sean's not pissing about tonight. Listen, strap in, boys. It's gonna be a long one. We haven't even started the Glazers. Look, there's a lot that you've said there. First, I just want to stay on with the game. Obviously, we'll go into the Pogba thing definitely, without a shadow of a doubt. One of the sort of subheadings of today's show is scapegoats. Obviously, there's a few players that fall in that bracket. But in terms of the reason, we're tired. This is my personal gripe, and I'm sure most United fans. Why does he never roll the dice? Like as I say, right, the things that make managers elite is their impact on the game. The one time, right, I think it might have been forced for him. He subbed on Cavani at half-time against Southampton. I don't know if it was forced, but I think it might have been. Someone was injured. Subbed on Cavani, and I think it was Juan Mata against Southampton, where we was 2-0 down, and we won 3-2. Obviously, Cavani was influential in all 3 goals. And I said on that day, right, why does it take us to go 2-0 down for him to make a change? Why does it take us 2-0 down for us to play attacking football? In that game, we were 2-0 down. The second half, we came out like a different beast. Because we had no option but to attack. That was the fact of the matter. We had absolutely no option but to attack because we had to score 3 goals. Why do we not start games like that? Because it comes from the manager. He doesn't set the impetus in the changing room prior to the game. You boys have to attack because when I read this famous saying, right? And the guy said to him, a young lad came to him, goes, I want to be rich. This guy was like a multi-millionaire. He goes, listen, I'm going to teach you a lesson today. He goes, okay, obviously I'll come. He goes, come meet me at the beach at 6 a.m. He goes to the beach at 6 a.m., right? And then he goes to him, all right, stand here, stand in the water. And then he puts him under the water for about 10 seconds. And then he pulls him out of the water. And he goes, why the hell did you do that? He goes, in that moment when you were underwater, what is it that you wanted more than anything in this world? He goes, I just wanted to breathe. And he goes, until you want to be successful, like you wanted to breathe in that moment, you'll never be successful. And that is the mentality we need to have at this club. Unless you want it badly, you're never going to fucking get it. These mans want to play. Have you seen the flipping results? Since we've been top of the table, we flipping won 3 games. One was a 9-0 against Southampton.
Bro, I'm ready to fight for Usmaan right now.
Bro, these mans are like, it's like we talk about mentality. Oh, the mentality. Obviously, we don't call ourselves mentality masters. That's that other scum and in Merseyside. But the mentality is not there, and it comes from the manager. It comes from the individual players. But Jerry, your thoughts on this sort of he can't rotate the squad. Man's had Van de Beek on the bench. And I have to say it because it pissed me off when I heard this. Bruno started against Real Sociedad with 4-0 up. Don't forget that. So why did you play that game?
That guy's a clown.
So I'm just gonna throw that in there, Jerry. And
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna tell you Bruno's tired, and I wonder why he's tired. So what are your thoughts?
Yeah, that excuse is absolute BS. I don't want to hear it. I mean, people say we've got one of the best squads in the league if you compare us to the rest of the league with City and probably Chelsea on par with us or even better. That whole fatigue. Yeah, they did look leggy, I can't lie. But like you said with the mentality thing, did we it got to 60th minute and they're making subs. And I'm looking at Oli and he's just standing there. No fight, no eagerness to win. I think you said the Southampton game, it may be forced upon him. Even the West Ham game, I think we went 1-0 down. He brought on Matt Van der Beek and was it Marshall came on. He won the game 3-1. So then yesterday, that 0-0, I'm thinking, do you want to win this game or are you just scared? Do you not want to lose? What is you say the Man United way, the DNA, we're gonna outwork people. I'm gonna be successful here. Oh, fam, that guy he's a top liar. I think I said it in the previous
politician.
He's a liar, bro. There was one.
You know
what statement told me he's a liar? He said Sanchez will come back and score goals for Manchester United. That's when I said this guy. I'll never believe anything he says. Absolutely.
Not only that, sorry, Jerry. He was saying Phil Jones is going to come back and get a chance when he gets back in the squad.
To be fair to Phil Jones, right? At least to find the fucking nail on that Maguire. That guy's useless on flipping seconds. Does he want to score a header or what? Oh my god! I just think these guys are set pieces. But listen, I want to play devil's advocate slightly because I don't want to see you as a fashion on it because that's basically what it is at the moment. Is there a sort of claim that you can blame the players as well? Obviously, there will be some responsibility, but would you not look at the players as well? To be fair, the lineup that you put out was pretty good on paper. I'm not going to knock the lineup. Myself and Jerry, we did a reaction to the lineup. With Ty, if you haven't seen Ty's reaction to not seeing Marcy,
yeah, he was gassed.
he was like somebody stabbed him or something. But oh my god! But yeah, listen, look at some of the players. We've got to look at the performances. Yes, they might be tired, but it's inexcusable for some of them, isn't it?
Is that to
definitely,
me? Cool.
Yeah, I was gonna say, bro. The players, they've got nowhere to hide either. You know what I'm saying? Everyone needs to be held responsible, man. But for me, this is something that I've been screaming not only for months, for years, that our midfield has to be one of the worst in the league. It doesn't matter who plays, it doesn't matter who's in there. It's the worst I've ever seen at Manchester United. My issue comes back to the fact that Crystal Palace, in terms of the game, Crystal Palace aren't a team that like to control the ball. Do you know what I'm saying? They like to sit back, stir things up. They'll let the opposition have the ball. You do your thing, and then we'll hit you on the break. our inability to pick passes, just keep the ball on the edge of their box, you know, get the ball wide, flood the box with crosses. It's like we have no plan, no approach, and it's so frustrating, man, because we see guys like Donny van der Beek where that is his profile. Do you know what I'm saying? He's a guy that can keep the ball, keeps things ticking, controls the game, allows Bruno to stay up the pitch rather than having to come to the halfway line to get the ball and make things happen. Another thing that I look at is why do we stick with this 4-2-3-1 thing every single game?
Oh my god!
You know that's
so being just playing a guy at the number 10 who's not a 10. Don't get me started,
bro. We treat him as if he's
Bruno's
like
not a 10.
Yeah, fam, he can play.
That
Even if we wanna, you know, like obviously because he's been bagging, doing bits for us at the 10. That don't mean that's the only position he can play. Do you know what I'm saying? I think obviously Van der Beek weren't fit, but even when Van der Beek has been fit, we haven't seen him play in a flat three. Do you know what I'm saying? Even yesterday, I'm not sure. Yeah, whenever it was, I wanted to see us, you know, play a three at the back because that allows us to get tellers in. Obviously, Wan-Bissaka is limited, but he's actually played well in a five.
Very limited. He's trash, bro.
Jerry.
Yeah. We might have to have a conversation about Wan-Bissaka.
Yeah, we'll talk about it shortly.
I think it gives us a better chance to control games, bro, because that's the big issue I have. It just feels like we can't do anything for ourselves. It's either shit comes out of the hat or it falls in our lap. Do you know what I mean? We don't create anything, and for me, it starts at the top, man. But the players have to be held responsible as well.
100%, man. And just to go on the back of what you said regarding the possession in particular, controlling the game, this is the ones I don't normally look at stats, right? But when I seen this stat, I thought this has got to be a joke, so I had to check. But it's not. So, Palace average on possession this season, right? Their average possession. So when they play against, I don't know, Newcastle, these kind of teams, their average possession in the game is 40%, 4-0. The average possession in big games is 35%. So in games against the top six, so to speak. Their possession against Manchester United in the second half was 53%. So the average 35, but against us in the second half, they were 53%. I was normally at halftime you're like, well, it can't get worse. It surely can't get worse. It got worse in the second half. Oh my god, Barrett, bro, like, what is going off? These man's look, obviously we're gonna talk about Ollie in detail and the bigger picture, but there's some players in there you've got to look at and say, are they good enough for this club? Because I'm gonna throw one name out there, Fred.
Fred needs to go. I'm done with the guy now. I'm done with him now. He does all the dog work, but he can't pass a ball. Is this guy Brazilian? Is this guy Brazilian?
Brazilian where?
This guy's not Brazilian. He's not. I don't know. He can't pass the ball for shit. I don't know what he sees when he gets the ball. I don't know. Yeah. Like Bruno was poor yesterday. Everyone was poor yesterday. They were losing the ball like. It's like they hadn't played football before.
Shaw was fantastic for me personally.
Yeah, Shaw and Henderson. Shaw and Henderson, brilliant. But everyone else played like they hadn't played football before. Yeah. It was a joke. Honestly, I'm not surprised by that stat. Honestly.
Yeah, no, honestly, the second half was a joke. And I just want to say this as well, Sean, I'm going to pass it to you because it's your favourite player, PP. No under Paul Pogba then. No under any manager that we have since Paul Pogba's in the club. There's one pattern that you've seen with Paul Pogba, right? You used to see with Wayne Rooney as well under LVG as well. They used to come onto the halfway line to collect the ball because nobody could get the ball up front. You got midfielders behind. I remember when Rooney used to play, he used to be all the back in defense. I was like, fucking get up front, bro. Why are you here? But then I realized, we look at the game thing, he can't go front because the ball never arrives to him because there's no quality behind him. But then Pogba eventually signs for the club. The exact same shit. Pogba has to come. He had Herrera behind him. He had Matic, Fellaini, whoever it may be. He has to come deep to collect the ball. What has been happening since Pogba is injured? Bruno Fernandes is practically playing in quarterback role. Like, there was one instance where he collected the ball from the goalkeeper. He's that deep. Like, oh my God, it's beggars belief. Like, surely, Sean, people can see that there's got to be a systematic issue here. That we've got players like Bruno Fernandes having to come deep because he's got no other choice to collect the ball.
Oh, okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and make enemies right now. So let's just go ahead and get it out there because it's all good fun. I'm not a snowflake. I can handle whatever people throw at me anyway. But let's call it what it is, right? So Bruno Fernandes has had a free role that Paul Pogba could only dream of ever of having in the last 5 seasons. He's never had that. And people were talking all this nonsense. Oh, Bruno's done more in 6 months than Pogba did. Shut up with your foolishness. Let me just say this. Let me say this. Now y'all, like I said earlier, now y'all feeling it because the virus is must be infecting someone else right now. But let me say this. So Bruno, I'm going to talk tactically because I watch the game maybe a little different than other people because I've made myself a coach. I don't watch it with my heart. I go with my eyes. Bruno, who I love, by the way, so don't take the fact that I'm slagging some of his game off as I don't rate him because I do. Because the fact is, this guy single-handedly kept our fraud manager in a job last season. Y'all, all these people talking about we got top 4. No, Bruno coming in changed the whole season because of what he brings when it comes to heart, passion, leadership. But let me tell you what Bruno is. He's a stat pattern. Why did we not sign Bruno when we wanted to before? Because the club put out he gives the ball away too much, which he does, which I don't always mind when he's trying to make things happen. It's how he tries to do some things that gets on my nerves. But here's how Bruno kills us in his free role. If he's a 10, which he's really not because he don't really have some of the tech for a 10. Don't get me started. But let's just say this. Bruno, right? All these guys that rate him like he's Cristiano Ronaldo, which he's not, they do so because they play FPL, right? So he's a GA merchant. The guy gets goals. He gets assists. He can have Luke Shaw said it. Luke Shaw said, how do you have a crap game and come up with 2 goals? And this is how these guys watch the game. They rate the stats. He got goals. Don't matter if he played crap for 88 minutes. He scored twice. Marcus Rashford, Jerry's boy, can play bare crap a whole game. Put in a knuckleball cross. Man like Tarzan puts it in, and everyone's like, Rashi got an assist, a G and an A, and he's protected. Where if it's Tony, if he's Tony, they'd be killing.
I'm not having that.
Don't have it, Jerry.
I'm gonna let you preach later, Jerry, because you're my favorite pastor on the planet anyway. So listen, I'm gonna say this, guys. Bruno, let me tell you how he hurts us in the free roll. All he's giving him, all he won't change it. You talk about he has to come back to the halfway line to get the ball, which is frustrating him. Then he gets the ball, tired, as my man said earlier, my guy's tired, picks his head up if he looks, because sometimes you don't look. Then he just pings the ball any kind of where. You know, it's like you guys have like Uber Eats and stuff over there. Like, you know how like the driver brings you your pizza? It got to you, but it's all over the place. Somehow that's how our guys deliver stuff into the box. Just hoping it gets there, pinging it, hitting it hard, going crazy. Where Bruno really hurts us, though, is when he tries to press from the front, right? You're the number 10. You're not the 9. Why are you up on the goalkeeper of the other team trying to set up a press? Because what happens, tactically, is the other team then passes the ball through our midfield and they cut us open like butter. Because Fred, while he has an engine and will try to break up play, he's usually beside Scott McPassion, who is terrible, especially defensively. Straight terrible. Call it what it is. But he kisses the badge and has a nice knee slide on him. So that's okay for most Manchester United fans. Quality-wise, though, send Donnie to Milton Keynes Dons and let him do his thing. Because he can't do it in the Manchester United squad as a starter. Period. Put that out there. At me if you want to and get mad. But anyway, like I said, I love Rashi. I love Bruno. But sometimes the stats get in the way of what our eyes see. And right now, Bruno's been playing terrible. So call it fatigue if you want to, but like Ollie said last night, it killed me. I've been done for a long time, but this one takes the cake. He said, they asked him, why didn't you make a change? Why didn't you bring in, you got Shola there, right? Don't get me started on that. It's funny how Angel Gomez couldn't get in the squad. Don't get me started as if Shola's better than him. Topic for another day. Getting the Donnie treatment. You got these guys there. You got Ahmed Diallo. Got all these guys. Why? All he said, well, who look at our front 4. Who would you take off for him? We don't get paid to make that decision, bruh. You do. Who to take off?
They were all playing shit, man. I can't believe you said that. It was like Rashford was on a 1 out of 10, Greenwood was a 1 out of 10, Cavani was 1 out of 10. Just take your pick. Now bring one of them off. Like none of them did anything. Kojo, first and foremost, before we get you in, just want to say massive congratulations on that Tariq.
Yeah, that was big, man.
Big man. Obviously, make sure you check out 3 midfield bad way interview. But listen, Kojo, you've come into the Lions Den. Listen, I don't even know where to start with that, but we'll start with the Bruno stuff, because that's probably what people want to hear about. What are your thoughts on what Sean said there? Bruno, someone put in here actually in the comments, which is a very good point. Does Bruno play like that for Portugal?
No.
The lack of discipline.
No chance. No way.
He does not. No, he
So
doesn't.
I feel like that sentiment or that statement, it kind of sums up what Sean's trying to say. But what are your thoughts on what he said?
No, see what Sean said. I said on another show, I think in November, and
that's where I got it from.
It was me and you. It was me and you who said it.
No, but this is a different one. This is a different one completely.
I was about to say, and Lawless was killing us. Remember?
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, exactly. But I said it on your show as well. And I remember he was killing us for it. And I said on another show, and ever since I said on that show, every time I go to that show, the host of that show keeps bringing that clip up as my intro. I can't even say hello anymore. It's all because to Bruno. But this is the whole point. I was saying it when he played for Portugal, or when he does play for Portugal, he plays as a number 8. His game is a lot more simpler, and you can see the total control in the way he plays the game. And that might be because he's got better caliber players around him. There might be a bit more cohesion. You've got your João Felix, you've got your Guedes, you've got your Ronaldo, you've got Ruben Dias. You've got so much quality around you.
Yeah.
But like Sean said, sometimes the decisions that he makes on the pitch are baffling. I always say it. Our forwards don't make enough runs for me. Martial, Rashford, Greenwoods. I wouldn't put Cavani into that because Cavani does like to move quite a lot.
Yeah, and he still doesn't get the ball call.
Still don't get.
Don't worry.
No, and he still no. But it's right. But I'm saying a lot of our forwards are ball to feet. So I always say, if you want a creator to make something, more often than not, you want your forwards to be making some type of movement so you can find the ball into space for them to attack it and do the job. Same way, like when KDB crosses the ball, he knows Sterling's going to run into that spot and do his thing. So I sympathize with him on that side. On the other side, sometimes the decisions he makes, the passes that he chooses to make, are completely wrong, and that's okay to criticize. I hate the term stat padder because you have to score against who you are given, but at the same time, I feel like there's been some situations, some games where if he made that much of a better decision, we would come away with a win rather than a draw. That doesn't mean the whole draw is on him. Doesn't mean us dropping points on Bruno Fernandes. But sometimes those small differences can change the whole landscape of a football game. But I love the guy. Obviously, Usmaan, on your platform, I was screaming for this guy to come to our team. I was begging for it. So for me to criticize him, it comes from a hard place because I know he's a quality footballer. And what I saw at Sporting is kind of similar to what I saw at United, but obviously he was levels above many players there. But at the same time now, if you see how they're playing right now, they are much clearer of the team that he was in. They're top of the table there, and they're doing very well. And at Portugal, it's a different Bruno you see. A lot more composed, a lot more relaxed, a bit deeper, but the way he controls games is better. So I do agree with what Sean said, because right now at United, my brother, he's stinky. I keep saying that word, but he's stinky. He stinks. That's what it is. He stinks. He scores goals here and there, but in the overall aspect of his 90 minutes, he drops a stinker. He gives you a 6 out of 10, and it becomes a 6 because he scores a goal. If he doesn't score a goal, because scoring goals or assisting brings your level up, your number up a bit. If not, we're talking about 4s and below. You know what I mean? So, we need him to elevate all level of his game and all of that. But again, I do sympathize with him as well because he's the only creator also in the current 11 right now.
Yeah, I was about to say, I think he's just going through a bad run of form, to be honest with you, because he's had brilliant games like that. He's fully carried us and it's all clicked, etc. And you're seeing his brilliance. But, Jerry, listen, we're going to bring you in. Obviously, Sean mentioned your name regarding Rashford. I always say this about Rashford, but you always say he's involved in the game. So I suppose you can put them both in the same boat here because statistically they've both been brilliant. So, what are your thoughts on what the guys have said just there?
Yeah, just go back to the Rashford thing. It's not, you guys think that I back him, that I think he's such a great player. I'm just saying, this season, people bash him too much, but him and Bruno are literally the only players, because obviously with the lack of system and the individual brilliance that we do have, they're the only two players that are actually putting up the numbers. No one else ain't doing shit. So that's why when people get onto them two, I get it. They've been dropping stinkers left, right, and center, but they're at least putting up the numbers for our team. The rest, James, Greenwood, Marsh, they ain't done nothing this season. Absolutely nothing. So that's why I play kind of devil's advocate to those two players. But going back to the players,
you got an agenda, Jerry.
That's not an agenda. I'm just saying. Rashford could drop stickers, but he's got 18 goals. Like the ultimate goal of football is to score goals, right? So I tried to defend him just a little bit. But going back to the players, yeah, Bruno. The thing is, yeah, like you said, I think he's the only creative player. When I look at our team, that's why I keep in previous streams, I keep going back to not only Oli. The players in our squad are trash. Like, look our defense. Look, we got Wan-Bissaka.
Ali Inns will tell you we've kept 7 clean sheets in the last
fam, I don't want to hear that. We got Wan-Bissaka, yeah, right back. We got Maguire, Lindelof. We got Matic, Fred, Scott, James. Like, the squad is just trash. I think we overrate our players too much. Rashford, yeah, he's good, but he's not quality. Like, I don't know why.
Bro, I know I hurt Jerry to say that.
No, but he's not.
Why are you guys picking on my boy Scott, man? Like,
nah, man, he's crap. Nah, man.
He's not in the team to do all these. You need
no, but he starts. Our midfield, like Darren said, they start for our team.
Yeah, but if he starts, that's on the manager. He's not.
Who else is gonna play? Who else is gonna play?
That's not his fault.
That's
Scott is a squad player, man. Look, if he thinks he should be starting week in, week out, then he's got
like Greenwood as well. Greenwood had a great end to last season, and people expect him to be our savior on the right. Like, I know he's having to think about. There's too much pressure on Greenwood, Rashford, Marsh. That's not good enough to win the league. I get it. People say, they want a better coach who can win us the league. It could, but it won't be sustainable. It'll be a one-off, and then the next season,
I'll take it.
Right.
Let's go.
I want to dominate.
No.
I don't want fluky Premier Leagues and that. Nah, man.
I'll take it.
We'll
take a fluky Premier League. We gotta go above them.
These players.
We're never dominating until Pep leaves. Period.
I think if like the title says, ambitious owners, I think we could, with a great coach and ambitious owners, we can dominate. But with the owners, again, it goes back to them.
They're never leaving. Why would
they? We make them bundles of money. Why would they go?
We're a cash cow.
Exactly. They put it to the Buccaneers and become successful.
Yeah, that's it.
But here's the thing, guys. I will defend them on this. I'm not going to stand for this. They putting our money in the Bucks. That's bullcrap. Let me tell you something. Y'all don't know how the NFL works. It don't work that way. And let me explain something to you. The Glazers don't put money in the Bucks either. The Bucks are trash. They've been trash. They're one of the worst organizations in the history of the NFL. Matter of fact, we make fun of them. Their own fans don't support them. I got a friend that lives in Tampa. He's like, bro, no one goes to the games. They are garbage. But this offseason, they had an opportunity to bring in the GOAT. The GOAT, he decided to bring some people with him. And it's a COVID season. Fluky. They got hot at the right time. And honestly, it was a one-off. I can promise you. They will not win it again next year. The Glazers are crap. They're crap here. They're crap with United. They're crap. They don't care. Wow. They're businessmen. They're not putting money into Tampa. It's never their money. People don't realize this. They bought United on $700 and some odd million of leveraged debt. What kind of credit rating do you need to get that low? At the end of the day, so listen, they spend money, but it's the club's money. It's not theirs. They take from the club. If we had owners like City that were using our club to funnel other activities and do whatever, and they actually wanted to win, or Roman, big man team, then we're dominating the world. And I think what hurts us is that we are the Bayern Munich of England. We are the Barca Real Madrid. That's who we are. And this is the thing that kills me about this fan base because they're so young. I'm an old head. I get it. But I remember when we dominated. I remember Ronnie when he was Ronnie doing stepovers and just wrecking people. So, like, for me, I feel like our expectations are on the floor. And when it comes to, like, the manager, I've been saying this for well over a year, so I've been consistent. I feel like he's the perfect guy for the Glazers because he can do enough to get us top 4 to make us the next Arsenal, and he's untouchable. Over half the fan base, no matter what this dude does, is going to love him regardless.
Yeah, because he's a club legend, isn't it? So
And like
obviously,
me, I'm a Platinum fan anyway. What do I know?
Don't say that again. Don't say that again, please. Don't say that again, please.
What's that?
Right, listen, I want to get Darren and Barry.
The next Arsenal. Jesus.
No,
Top four and no more.
That dead team. Listen, let me get Darren and Barry because obviously I want to get their thoughts as well. So Darren will come to you first and foremost. Obviously, you hear what the guys have said regarding the Glazers. We may be discussing now on the topic. Does it really come down to a lack of ambition, or someone in the chat spot they have spent money? Does it come down to the fact that we spend the money poorly?
No structure.
For me, it's a lack of ambition, definitely, man. Like the money is half-hearted. Do you get what I mean? Because there's been so many transfer windows where it's like just the transfer window that just passed, the dream that we were sold, that has to be one of the most
bro, that is outrageous.
Yeah, compared to our expectations, the way things panned out, oh my
we got
Lord.
Diallo, bro. Who joined us in January instead, they violated us.
Bro, we were linked to Jadon Sancho, linked to some of the biggest names about. We ended up spending 40 mil on Amad Diallo, who barely touches the pitch for us. Donny van der Beek, 40 mil, who barely touches the pitch for us. I don't understand how we're meant to be in a title race, but yet 80% of our resources, which we used in the summer, were used on guys that aren't even on the pitch for us. That can't help us at the moment. For me, that's just bad management. That's just sheer ineptitude. Do you get what I mean? And even when it comes back to the ambition, I think, bro, they're happy just staying afloat. Do you get what I mean? I think that is the business model right now. Do you get what I mean? They don't mind not winning trophies, not getting winning the Premier League, because top four, you get Champions League football, you get your payday. Expectations stay low. Do you get what I mean? Ollie stays in the job. As Sean was saying, he's the perfect guy. He's the
Trust
puppet.
the process, bro.
Exactly. He came out to the media and he was already disseminating the message that they want to be out there. We're not spending money in summer. Everyone being affected by COVID. Already planting their excuses already. And bro, this is a repeat of what happened last year. Do you know what I mean? So I think it's just this is where we are right now. And it starts from the top. Do you know what I mean? Ollie is he's just a puppet. Do you know what I mean? He's literally their mule. Same with Ed Woodward. Do you know what I mean? Ed Woodward's just there to be their accountant. Do you know what I mean? I think it's a sad state that the club's in, man. And I don't know, man. I feel like we can win, even with them as owners, but we're gonna need a pep. We're gonna need someone to come in and demand a complete shake-up. Do you know what I mean? Because, bro, with the way the clubs run, it's just not run effectively. Do you know what I mean? And I think the size of the club has actually come back to haunt us now, because it just feels like we're not on the same page throughout the club. And that's when it comes to recruitment. That's when it comes to all levels of the club. We're not on the same page. And bro, it's tough, man. It's tough right now being a United fan, man, because we're in second place, but there's nothing to be happy about. Do you understand? That hurts, fam. That's tough. That's tough.
Yeah, I completely hear that. And in terms of structure, yeah, go on.
Sorry, do you want some breaking news on your?
Yeah, I've seen it. Ty's put in the chat. Go on, God, you must say.
Yeah, Rashford has been playing with a shoulder injury that might need an operation post Euros. I don't know how long this has been for now, but this is the second time under this management.
He's been forced to play. That's why. I honestly think Rashford's going to turn out. Generally, he's going to be like Rooney. No, like Rooney when he was running to the ground. Yes. I've said it already. Like, they're killing him.
Finished by 29.
Legit, man. Like, he should have been rested so many times this season. And then it comes back to what we said earlier regarding, players are tired, etc. Rashford's not having a rest. Like, why is he not rotating him? You could have utilized Dan James early. You could have probably kept Lingard and played him in the squad play. Could have played Mata in games. Like, utilize playing Matta's still got quality, like in one game a week or whatever. But Barry, let's come to you. I don't know which one we should touch on. There's so much to discuss. We'll start with. We continue with the Glazer chat. In terms of the recruitment as well, we bought Van der Beek for 40 million. We bought Diallo for 37 million. I know add-ons, etc. Diallo obviously we need that position, but he's not going to come in and actually have an impact. Van der Beek, for me, as I see it, is basically a waste of money because he's not going to get a chance. So, yes, the Glazers are to blame as well, but do you put some of that blame down to the recruitment? I don't know if it's Ed Woodward or whoever else is in charge. Like, where do you think the blame lies? And obviously, do you think under this regime we can actually get back to where we belong?
Fundamentally, it boils down to the Glazers as well as Ed Woodward, because you can see the choices that we've made, the summer signings that we made. Cavani went first choice.
Yeah, absolutely not.
Tellez wasn't first choice. Diallo definitely wasn't first choice.
Yeah.
Pelestri was not first choice again.
I forgot we signed him.
I can guarantee Van der Beek was not first choice either.
No way.
Facts.
So how can a manager of a club that size be let down that many times? It's just, that system that he's in is just fundamentally going to be there for him to fail. And you can tell that because Tellez don't even get a game. And Tellez is a class left back, but he don't rate Tellez. I don't think any of us do, to be honest. Going forward, he's good. But defending, no good. You could tell he wanted, who's that left back that went to Spurs?
Regular.
Reguilon.
Yeah.
He's brilliant. Up and down the pitch. You could tell we missed out on Haaland. We missed out on Bellingham. These players come in.
Yeah.
We're talking a different game now. With Bellingham, missed out. Maybe we did. Were we in for Grealish? Were we not? But if Grealish is in that team, it's a different game. Centre back again. We didn't sign anyone.
I don't trust Oli to utilize those guys correctly, though. I can't lie, man. I can't.
Well, with Jack Grealish alone, he don't need to utilize him. Just let Jack play. You know, Jack would have saved Ollie's job even more because he's a freestyle king.
Yeah, but he'll think you can't put Bruno and Jack together. That's the tip that he'll be coming on.
Of course you can.
Yeah, but Oli won't
plays,
that.
Grealish plays on the left wing. Bruno don't. Bruno in at number 10.
Yeah, currently he bangs on the left wing, but I think he's a number 10 green. But I don't think Oli will let them. Why hasn't he played Donny and Bruno together then? I don't understand that.
But he's a pleb. That's why.
I get him out, man. I had enough, man. Get him out, man.
It's time.
Dude, Jerry sat.
I think in this current setup, every manager that comes in is going to fail.
I've had enough.
He's had enough.
I personally believe, back to what my guy beside me said, this is why I said for me, there was only one manager that could do well in this setup. It wasn't like he's the best of all the managers, but for me, it was Poch, only because he's shown he can work with trash and not being backed in terrible ownership and do okay. Could you imagine him with our type of players and our backing? Because the fact is, the guy did good at Spurs, two straight windows with nobody, right? Yeah. And so, you know, and again, the argument of, well, he ain't won anything. Well, all he won at Mold. So what? That's like not even MLS standard for one. And two, he got sacked from there once. And when they brought him back, the fans his own fans don't want him there. But I get what you're saying. I think that ultimately, I agree with you guys. You know, I think we can win with the right structure. But the biggest thing is the big little man, which is Ed. Why would he leave? Unless we could get him out or get him over, only sell it. Jack Grealish was perfect. Bring him in, let Ed sell hair gel sponsorships. Everyone's happy. We got a baller. Players are making money. You know what I mean? But it's the structure overall, but that's never going to change.
Honestly, it is the structure. You get in a director of football. This club is not run on footballing decisions. This club is run on business terms. If you look across the road and look at City and how they're run now and what Pep has done, and if you look at the bigger picture, City are going to dominate for years. Even if Pep leaves, City are going to dominate for years. Because a manager is going to come in and pick up that team, pick up their system, pick up the youth team, pick up everything, and they'll get backed. Pep, how many defenders did Pep buy until he found the right one?
Plenty.
Over like 300 mil on defenders, man.
300 mil. And we bought one fridge for 80 mil.
Oh, let's talk about the fridge.
Wait, not yet.
To be honest,
we talk about the hierarchy, guys.
You know what? I can't even cuss the guy because he's not as bad as people make out.
No, but
he's not as bad.
He's bad.
See what I'm saying? We're making too many excuses for these guys. We're making way too many excuses for these guys.
No.
Oli should be getting more out of what we have. Maguire, Listen, with Maguire, I was a big fan of Harry Maguire. I remember in uni, I went to literally watch a game. I think it was Hull. I saw him giant. Yeah, I saw him, big guy. One of my guys was like, "Hey, listen, Harry Maguire, good player. You know, he's not really big in name, but he's a good player, tidy on the ball." I was like, "Raw, I actually like this guy." Obviously, went to Leicester, did really well. I was like, "Wow, I like Harry Maguire." You know what I mean? He's tidy on the ball, good in the air, good player. For me, he's not. This is his level. Do you know what I mean? I think he's showing it now to where he's slow as a bus. Literally, his leadership is one of the. He's probably the worst.
He shouldn't be captain. He should not be captain. No, he shouldn't be captain.
Bro, and who is the one that made that decision to put him captain? His bloody dad, who has no idea who these man have no clue.
Good shot, Freddie.
No,
Good
he
shot.
shouldn't be captain, man.
Guys, they have no clue what it takes to actually lead the club. Because for me, Maguire, I just feel like what is he thinking a lot of the? Because there's so many instances where it's like he thinks he's better than he really is. Do you know what I'm saying? Why don't you keep things simple and then
when he hits that ball,
do what you do best?
Sure, I swear to God.
Yeah, that left channel every time. The same thing.
Sure must be pissed. This guy, you putting him in hospital with some dodgy short pass, or he's making him jump like 5 feet like Ronaldo to even just the ball. Like it's just constantly shit pass. Like honest to God. And look, I'm gonna just say this. Bailly as well. I'm a huge fan, but him and Maguire were pissing me off yesterday, actually. They were holding on to the ball for so long. Like, didn't want to hold on to the ball for any longer. Like, I'm going to turn 60 by the time I release it. Like, they were killing all their tags. But told you, look, I'm going to talk to you, right, regarding build-up. Because this is a growing concern now. And if this was Van Gaal or Jose Mourinho, who was the manager yesterday, I honest to God think there would be a different tune on the timeline. Because it's only going to show people ignoring the fact that the build-up is so slow that you're literally allowing them to set up so casually. They're not even stressing to get back in the 2 banks or 4 or wherever it may be. Like, what is happening here? Like, Matic was probably the most progressive passer on the whole pitch. And that's saying something. So, like, coach, like from a coaching perspective, man, they need to move the ball quicker, surely.
Matic was the most progressive player on the pitch. Bro, do you know how mad that statement is? Because
as well, by the way, I'm just throwing that out there.
But
Jerry, is that right?
That statement is so mad because it's so true. That's scary, bro. This is what it is for me. We've got 2 defenders that are, for me, decent at passing. Lindelof and Bailly, but they're going to be partners. Bailly's a lot more composed on the ball and he knows how to make a decent pass going forward. Lindelof has range. We've seen it before. He has a bit of range about him.
Yeah, he does.
That being said, though, your midfield in any walk of life will never progress. And I'm talking about it could be, you could shift them into basketball. Hell, you could shift them even into cricket. You will not progress forward. You will not progress forward if your defenders pass the ball and the players that are going on the turn are Scott McTominay and Federico.
Thank you.
It's impossible. It's actually impossible.
It will never work.
Like you anyone that watches United, you see those 2 start, right? And I remember there was a time where like
they started on the weekend, by the way, just so you know.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, appreciate that.
So it's Lindelof and Maguire.
Have a nice.
Cheers, man. There was a time. Remember, there was a time where like we had like 10 games on a decent run, a couple of wins, a couple of draws here and there, and they were saying that the midfield 3 of squad Fred, McTominay, and Bruno were the reason why we were getting those wins. And I was like, and it was on Sky Sports. And I was like, usually Sky Sports are not very lazy with their analysis. This is very lazy because they refuse to point out the fact that every time Pogba came off the bench or Van de Beek came off the bench, we started becoming a bit progressive and scoring goals. In those games, before they came off the bench, we were having a losing position or we were drawing. We weren't winning the game.
Yeah.
Do you know why we weren't winning the game? Because that man can't progress forward. This is why someone like Luke Shaw, bless his heart, Luke Shaw's actually done very well this season, so it's not a criticism. It's not a criticism of him, but he should not be doing so much down that left side. He shouldn't. He shouldn't be involved in the game that much. He should be receiving the ball in a decent position to do 1-2s going forward and then run and then cross it in. He shouldn't be getting the ball.
He's ruining the game yesterday for us.
Yeah, he shouldn't be going to get the ball at left back, running forward with the ball. Like he's not. Left back shouldn't be running the game. Trent Alexander-Arnold and Robertson don't run games for Liverpool based on the fact that they get the ball all the time and run. They get into good positions because their midfielders do their damn job. Because Fabinho can progress. Even Jordan Henderson can progress. If Henderson can progress, why can't a guy from the favelas of Brazil not progress forward with football?
He's not from Brazil.
He's not from the favelas, fam.
You got Mandem telling me that a Brazilian coming to my club, the previous Brazilian beforehand was very sloppy, but he could progress the ball forward. He was very hedged and eventually he'd barely caught up with him in it. But how can another Brazilian come to my club, and not progress with the ball? So much so that people are telling me that my Brazilian got his passport off Snapchat. Do you know how rude that is? because he can't progress the ball forward. Look, when you have Pogba and Van der Beek, I'm not saying that you have to play them in a midfield three with Bruno. Like, I understand there is a lack of defensive protection and all that, despite the fact that Pogba this season has done a lot more defensive work better than the other two, but that's for another thing.
Bro, Caljo's on it. That's facts.
When those guys play, we progress the ball forward. Go to the Newcastle game. What was the score? When they came off the bench, look at the kind of goals we're scoring. Progression. Like Leipzig, when Bruno, Pogba and Van der Beek played on the pitch together, look how we annihilated them.
I know, man. That game, man. Kojo, I'm just gonna put in there, like, what did Oli see in that game and thought? Nah, I'm not gonna do that.
This is the point.
Get him out.
And bro, the reason why I get mad with Ole so much is because, like, any coach, even Pep Guardiola, one of the greatest to the most worst coaches. If your team is not finding a way through, you don't make like for like changes. If you take off a striker, what's going to happen? Absolutely nothing. If you take off a centre midfielder for another one that doesn't progress the ball forward, he took off Fred for McTominay. I was sitting there, I was like, what is this going to do now? Like, nothing's going to happen here because you don't make like for like changes. I would forgive him if we had lost the game, but he took off Fred and brought Amad Diallo and we lost the game. I wouldn't care. I would accept the fact that you need to try something, change the shape, change the formation, show some level of expression football or creativity off the bench so that your players can go on the pitch and also be creative. Don't let bravery, bro.
Show some bravery.
Bro, who 15 minutes ago?
You wouldn't think this guy played under Fergie the way he managed.
Bro, it don't make sense. It don't make sense. 15 minutes ago, I was criticizing Bruno Fernandes. But at the same time, if he's the only one on the pitch that's going to create, of course he's going to close him down. Of course he's going to lose possession a lot. Because the front three are not going to make moves for him. And number two, the front three don't have creativity. Marcus Rashford's not a creative player. Cavani has never been a creative player. Mason Greenwood's not a flipping right winger. He's a striker. I don't care how good he's done there. He's a striker. So if you're expecting them to create something, it's BS. Your whole right side can't create for anything. Because if it's not, if it wasn't Wan-Bissaka, my Lord have mercy, it was Timothy Fosu-Mensah. If it wasn't Fosu-Mensah, it was Twanzebe. And if it's not Twanzebe now you're forcing Brandon Williams to now become a right back. Bro, there's no win here. There's no win. Do something. Create yourself. Do something. Bro, bring back James Garner. He's more progressive at this point. And it's facts. Watch how he's playing for his club right now. He's progressive. He's moving the ball forward. Play Galbraith. Bro, bring Ethan Laird right back. Do something that grabs the attention. Yeah, you literally, exactly. Do something that grabs the attention of the team, that the players can look at that and say, okay, he's trying to do something different, change the shape. Don't make it so predictive that at this point, I look at you the same way I looked at David, the other Scotsman, at West Ham right now. 81 crosses against Fulham, and I was more entertained in that game than I was yesterday.
Yesterday, shambolic, man.
You know what? I've been ranting too much. Someone take over, bro. I've been ranting.
Quick question, innit? How do you guys think how do we solve the midfield issues? Because I think that's the core of
It comes down to approach. I mean, whoever's on the show on the background, just make sure because it's echoing the hell out of it.
yeah, is it me?
I don't know who it is. It's
It
not
might be me. Let me mute myself and then see what
I
happens.
think it's Kojo. Yeah, I think it's Kojo. Yeah, it's Kojo. Flipping out Kojo.
Oh, okay. Yeah. How do we start midfield? Because
I'm gonna say something that no one is gonna agree with because I know they're not. Listen, it comes down to approach, right? And look, I know no one raised Scott McTominay here, but I'm just gonna use an example that with him in the team. Like Scott McTominay's been getting a lot of criticism from a lot of United fans. He's not got quality at yada. And again, I'm not saying he's a world beater because he's a squad player. However, when the manager has given him the license to join the attack and make that third man run, again, I'm not saying he's Goretzka. Obviously, he's nowhere near him. But what I'm saying is, what Goretzka does for Bayern Munich is that running to the box from deep. He does it. Goretzka's basically elite at that. He's world class at that. McTominay has somewhat offered something to his game. Granted, he hasn't got the technical ability. He's offered his goal opportunities because he's getting in positions. And the only reason he's been doing that is because the manager said, okay, go and join the attack. In every other game we play, and yesterday's another game, we got two men sat on the halfway line as two DMs. One of them's not joining the attack. The ball's just sat behind the ball. And as a striker like Cavani, if you haven't got someone running past you, it's so easy for the team to defend against him because it's just one-dimensional. There's no one running off it. Bruno Fernandes runs off him sometimes here and there when he chooses to. But if Bruno's not doing it, McTominay or one of the other midfielders, you've got to make that run. Lampard used to do all the time. Ramsey used to do all the time. Someone has to make that third man run and offer something different. And when McTominay actually got subbed on, again, Sean, I know you don't rate him. McTominay got subbed on in the first 5 seconds of him being on the pitch. He found himself in a position that nobody else was on the pitch. And that's because he took a risk. And that's because he probably got the permission to go and join the attack. I'm not saying he's a technically gifted player, but the issue is the manager's holding these men back. When Oli first got the job, there was no fear. Man said, fucking go for it. Every single one of you are waiting to play forward and obviously take risks. And now, it's like
4-3-3 too, by the way.
It's like, yeah, but it's like how we went under Jose. Let's not take risks. Let's play 2 CGMs. You both have to sit in from the back 4. I'm not hearing this bullshit about he has to protect the defense because they're not good enough. Because he paid 80 million for one of them, so that's his fault. He bought the bloody guy, so you can't use that as an excuse. And at the end of the day, if it's his centre back, you can't say, oh, well, he needs two CDMs to protect him because you signed him. So he's got to take risks, especially against Palace, man. They didn't even have Wilfred Zaha. Man is scared of what Palace offer on the break. It's not good enough. Like Barrett,
they had Wilf, they'd have skull us yesterday.
Bro, Barrett, thoughts on the manager, man. Because look, it comes, as Darren rightly said, they're not brave enough. That is the issue at the moment. Nobody's making a run. Nobody's taking anybody on. How many players do we get who actually get the ball and run past one? Like, I can't. We've got players with ability, but they're not doing it.
One quick point, Usmaan, in it, because I got a slide. I got to record an episode for us. This is why I was bringing up a flat 3 in midfield, because we say third man run. With the flat 3, it allows the 2 8s to come deeper, and either one of them can make the third man run. Do you get what I mean? So that fits our team. Donny van de Beek can be the guy making third man run. Bruno can be the guy making the third man run.
He's got goals in him, and these guys are.
Bro, McTominay can be the guy making the third man run. Even if you want to bring young players into the team, bring them into the team, let them play part of the 3. It's less pressure. Do you know what I mean? It's not you have to be the creator or you have to be the sitter. Do you know what I mean? There's versatility in the roles. You can tell them this is what I want you to do, but you've got some room to go and express yourself. And I think, yeah, man, our midfield has to be solved because I saw Danny Murphy bringing it up today. We still haven't replaced Carrick, Till this day, we still haven't replaced Michael Carrick. And I just don't understand it. Like, how can Manchester United have one of the worst midfields in the league? It makes no sense. And it has to be sorted out. And Paul Pogba could be leaving, by the way. Oh my God.
Yeah, we're gonna go on to Pogba now. Now, Barrett, in terms of Paul Pogba, well, the next topic or the last topic before we wrap it, because obviously, next ones are gonna play. So,
no Maguire topic.
Oh, in fact, yeah, shit, yeah. Sorry, I could forget about that. Right? Should we just quickly discuss that? I don't know which one to start with. We'll do the Pogba one. So the topic is scapegoats. So every team has scapegoats. Is there a case that Man United, scapegoating individual players or fans, to cover up the cracks? What are your thoughts, Pogba, obviously most noticeably on that one?
I think it's what happened before he started his good performances for us with his agent coming out and talking, his brother coming out and talking. It's easy to scapegoat him, but to be honest, he's our best player by a country mile. He's our best player. So he shouldn't be scapegoated because if it weren't for him, we wouldn't have been top of the league.
I was just about to say we were top of the league, and then he got injured, and then he just capitulated.
And now that he's missing in our team, you can tell he's missing in our team because he's the player. He's the player that progresses the ball, like you lot were saying. He's the one that can pick the pass.
Wait,
But
I've got to read this comment on because this is just blowing my mind. Forget character.
Crazy.
Oh, what?
No, he was not.
He's trolling.
That's bullshit. That's absolute bullshit. That's nonsense. Don't come and say that was a rush down this channel. What the hell was that?
A championship for one season.
Man said it was only fun through one stuff.
Crazy. Hey, but fellas, got a slide. Usmaan, thanks for having me, bro.
Pleasure, brother, man.
Appreciate you guys.
If you're with Daniel, make sure you put him through it, man. Make sure you put him through it because, you know.
100%, bro. Bless, man, them.
No, bro, man. Catch you in a bit, man. Love. Yeah, anyways, as we said, but yeah, so in terms of like the Pogba situation, obviously, you know, like for me personally, I just think there's more to it than just Pogba. Look, we're kind of relying on his brilliance as well. Do you not feel like he was kind of covering up the cracks as well? Like that Fulham goal, obviously, the West Ham goal, Aston Villa moment. Like, do you not just think that's the bigger issue at the moment, though? Like, we got two new players, Bruno and Rashford as well included, obviously. They're just they're papering over the cracks, man, with the dead performances.
Yes and no. You've seen in matches, you can see we can actually play football because you've seen glimpses of it. It's not as if it's just we're too inconsistent at the moment. And I still think we're still a year behind at least from challenging for a title. Like we were lucky to be in where we were. Everyone was surprised to say, "Oh, United are top at Christmas."
Yeah.
Everyone was surprised. We were operating a year or two ahead. You've got to remember that the job Ollie is doing is bigger than just on the pitch. That is the one thing that you have to remember because everything, if nothing is right off the pitch, you're not going to get it right on the pitch. Any sportsman will tell you that if their head's not on right off the pitch or off sports, they ain't going to play right. They ain't going to flourish. But again, Pogba did crack over some of the poor performances. He did hold this team just as much as Bruno did. So I don't know where we can go from it, to be honest. I think we need to sign a CDM that can play in that position on his own so we can be more progressive up the pitch because playing with Matic, although Matic is brilliant, he's got no legs.
Yeah.
He can't run no more. So he can't be there on his own. That's why he needs Fred there. And Fred can't afford to be going up the pitch and then coming back again. So personally, for me, I think we should sign someone like Declan Rice. I think I've watched West Ham a few games. I think him in that CDM position is someone who he can pick a ball, but he can actually carry the ball as well. And defensively, he's brilliant as well, and he can fill in at centre back as well. So I don't know. I think we need to sign someone like that if we need to move forward.
Yeah, no,
we need to jump all over that.
Yeah, Declan Rice would be a fantastic signing for us, but it's not going to be easy to get it. But in terms of Sean, obviously, you know, I know your thoughts on PP, but I want to talk about the front line, right? Cavani plays, right? Absolutely no service whatsoever. Greenwood plays against Chelsea, absolute no service whatsoever. Martial plays against Real Sociedad, absolute no service whatsoever. Although he had a half a decent game there, again, jack shit, no chances whatsoever, no chances. Greenwood I can't remember if he got any chance against Chelsea, probably didn't. I believe we've not created a single big chance, a clear-cut chance in the last 3 games, which is of telling indictment. But,
over 400 minutes.
Yeah, well, yeah, so the question to you, Sean, is like, what's the issue? Because everyone was blaming Anthony Martial, saying he's poor, he's X, Y, and Z. I've been saying, and Ty, don't worry, you probably don't watch this, but I'll clip it and send you. But myself and Ty and other people that are like Martial FC, whatever you want to call us, but we've been saying Martial is doing poorly. I'm not denying that. However, there's a bigger issue at this club than Anthony Martial. I got people telling me I want Haaland at the club. And I was responding saying, what the hell is Haaland going to do in this Man United team? He's going to create no chances. He's going to get frustrated. There's no one creating jack shit. We need Jadon Sancho more than Haaland for what we've currently got. For me personally,
100%.
Barrett doesn't agree. We'll come back to you.
100%. I mean,
the point I'm making is, right, the issue is not the striker. The issue is the people around him, because you're always... Look at Aguero the other day when he played. I know he's come back from a long layoff, but Aguero the other day, he was completely ineffective because he got no chances whatsoever. And, you know, you see it all the time with strikers. They go missing in games. Harry Kane's gone missing in games. Every big striker's gone missing in games. Because if they don't get any service, they can't do shit. And that has been the situation with Martial. He's missed one chance a game. And yes, there have been clear chances. I'm not denying that. However, no one's got 100% conversion rate in the world. Even Ronaldo hasn't got that. So he's, you know, sometimes you've got to have a bit of leeway here and there. All we do is create one chance a game. Yesterday, Rashford has one chance. It's the only chance he gets. He misses it. People can say he's shit. X, Y, and Z. Bruno, one chance yesterday, misses it. Dan James, one chance yesterday, he misses it. All three of them guys, they miss the chance and they don't get another opportunity to rectify that. Sean, what's your thoughts on that situation? Is there more to it than, the strikers aren't good enough, we need a striker? Or do you think it is down to the strikers? Because for me, Cavani's got one of the best movements in the world, if not easily in the league. Like, he's in the top 3 comfortably in terms of his IQ and movement. And even he couldn't muster up an opportunity for himself.
Well, the way I see it is simple. So I don't like to get too heavily into some stats because I think stats can be misleading. But I'll say this. In City's team alone, right, Gabriel Jesus, who I don't rate at all, he gets at least 7.5 touches in the opponent's box per game. Raheem Sterling is up closer to 9. So between two players alone, they have more touches in the box than, you know, our entire team probably for most of the game. Where, you know, our strikers, for example, like Anthony Martial, has a lot of games where he gets maybe 2 touches in the box. The thing about Tony that I like, now here's the thing. Tony's not had the best season. He's missed some sitters. I mean, listen, I'm not making excuses for him. He's been diabolical at times, right? Let's call it the way it is.
Yeah.
You know, I love the guy. I know what he would do in other teams that create certain type of chances. But this is also a system situation. So he's used to hold the play up. Many of the times when he even gets a touch in the box, it's back to goal, trying to bring other people into play. The thing about Tony I like is that unlike other players, for example, like Aubameyang, right? So Aubameyang, if he's not scoring, he ain't doing crap. Let's be honest. Let's keep it real. Tony will win pins. He brings other people into play. I think Tony's biggest problem for me is a mental issue. I think that Tony at times he's shown on the pitch, his attitude can be one where he appears to be kind of a sulker. So when things aren't going his way, he gets in his own head. But I think that with a different system and coach. Now, do I think there are better number 9s in the world than Tony? Absolutely. But people that think that Haaland would just come to United and start doing bits, how? Do you watch how he plays? He doesn't pick up the ball and beat 30 people like it's FIFA and just make things happen. Strikers rely and depend on service. They need to eat. Now, if Tony's not making some of the runs he needs to make, then once again, the manager, who, by the way, was a striker, needs to be in his rear and make sure he's making those runs or get him on his bike, right? So ultimately, I do know that players have some responsibility. I get it. But I don't think anybody is eating at this Manchester United team when we don't make – how are they scoring when there's no service to score, right? This is my big issue. So the reason I think that a Jadon Sancho, for example, is more important is this, because we offer nothing on the right side. We're asking a 19-year-old kid who's played in the 10 or as a striker his whole career to all of a sudden be a right winger and make things happen, who, by the way, has been racially targeted since the beginning of the year because of stuff that happened that any 19-year-old kid would have been doing, trying to holler at birds in a hotel. Big deal. Like, you ain't never done it. I've done it. Listen, I was hollering at birds in hotels when I was 39, yet alone 19. Let's keep it real. At the end of the day, ultimately, Jadon Sancho, just watch this guy play. His tech, his ability. He's a world-class talent. This guy can win Ballon d'Or one day. You know, even though he's had a bad season. How have you even watched? The dude's still putting up numbers in a bad season. You know, the fact is, I think AWB, for example, has regressed under this manager. Before the lockdown last year, most of us would have said he is our player of the season. When he was playing at Crystal Palace, I remember the work he put on City and listen to all the people on TV and all the shows talking about, oh, look, AWB, he should be City's right back. What would he do there? But something's happened with him. He needs somebody to link up with to teach this guy how to go forward because he's just awkward. So he's killing me right now.
Man said awkward, you know. Man's awkward.
It is. I mean, look at the guy. But
It does look awkward, to be fair.
for me, Tony is he's going through a bad patch. Strikers do it. Could we have better? Yes. But is he to blame? I think we've seen, like you said, 400 minutes without a big chance created. Let that sink in.
I'm gonna get Kojo. The reason
Trust the process, Kojo. You trust the process.
Reason I'm even saying this, right? I know Barrett, you disagree with the Harley. We'll come back to you, don't worry. But the reason I'm saying this is right because when Pogba was playing, right, people were slag Pogba saying he's not doing X, Y, and Z. Now that he's not playing, people are saying it's seen where he's missing. It's not the same for Martial because he hasn't been doing anything. Obviously, I agree with that. But the point is, Cavani is doing everything that people are saying Martial should be doing, and he's still getting jack shit service. And as you know yourself, Cavani's movement's brilliant. There's not much else he can do. He's not getting any chances still. So surely there's got to be a bigger picture. It can't just be as easy as, oh, Martial's not being putting up. Martial's not doing X, Y, and Z because the service isn't there for Cavani either.
But the reason why I get into Martial is not about stats are one thing, isn't it? If you're not scoring goals, you're not scoring goals. I just feel like at times he's not utilizing his full potential. That's been my gripe with him. So like, reason why Cavani can maybe escape criticism at times is because at least he's trying to get into positions to score. Like
I'm
movement.
not criticizing him. I
know you're not.
He's getting in the positions that basically everyone's criticism of Martial. He's not running around enough, which I agree with. All those statements I agree with. I'm not denying that. But Cavani is running around enough, and he's still not getting the chances. So what is the problem? Because
that's why for Martial on a personal level, I would be more forgiving if he was doing the same thing. Because if I see my striker get into positions and no one's finding him, what can I say about you? You know what I mean? If Martial he's back to goal game is good. He can bring others into play. But then when you take that pass, you take that control, you pass it off, spin and go. Try and get into position. And if they can't find you, I can't say anything about you. That's what I feel like he's not doing. That for your manager to be telling you to move on the pitch is a worrying thing for me because I need you as a striker. If you say you are a striker, and I believe you are, I've stood up for him like you have as well as me before in the past about being a striker, then you have to do things I feel that you have as a striker. I hate using the power and pace thing for players. But again, I said it before, there aren't many defenders that can match him in strength and in speed. So if he wanted to really get in behind, he could do the thing. So if he's getting behind and no one's finding him, then I look behind him and say, what the hell are you, man, doing to find the striker? Because that's what they're doing with Cavani. If Cavani's making moves and you, man, are not making the move and not trying to find him, then that's on you. So when you say that, I can look at the midfielders now and say, well, what's happening here? At the same time, again, where I can also sympathize with Martial is I will say this. And I remember when I was coaching the team, one player said this to me, and it really worked with my eyes up. So I said to him, he was doing similar to what Martial was doing. And he said to me, the players ain't trying to find me. What the hell am I making a run in the box for? And I was like, that's fair because you want to be involved in the play. That's why you see Cavani even dropping deep now. You'll see Greenwood against Chelsea. He played striker. He was on the right side again a lot of the time. So also it is a midfield thing. It's add more creativity to it. That's what we were talking about earlier. You don't, have someone like if Pogba's injured, Van de Beek's injured. Surely at some point you try and bring in more experience in Mata, for example, add a bit more creativity to your team. Absolutely. That helps your striker. Then Martial can find more spaces, and if he's not finding those spaces with 2 or 3 creators on the pitch, then you can get onto him more and say, "There are man there to try and find you."
What's the situation, Matt? Sorry, I've got to start on top here. He's not injured or what? I don't understand.
No, he's not injured because there's never been any team news about him being injured. He's just not being selected for the team. And I don't know whether it's because his contract's running down, so they want to move him on.
It blows my mind that you're not using someone.
I don't get it.
That game yesterday was screaming for Mata.
Yeah, 100%.
Exactly.
Screaming. Especially coming off the right.
Yeah.
Bro, it's
Some
baffling.
pushing.
Like, Man United have had experience for years of playing against teams that will sit back. This isn't new. So why wouldn't you think, oh wait, let me bring in a creative player extra to try and find those gaps?
It's just
Matter's not even quick, but when he makes moves into the box, how many people track his run? You know what I mean? It's small things that change things. So that's what it's about for me anyway. Yeah. But Marshall, I do sympathize with him on some regard. I do criticize him a lot. But at the same time, I will say this. If you're a striker and you know people are not going to find you, what is the damn point? You want the ball. You want to get touches. So one way or another, you want to get involved in the play. And I can understand that. But I would be more forgiving if you go into the positions and then wasn't being found. Because then I can say, bro, you're doing what you can.
There was that clip. Have you seen that clip when Dan James crosses it in against Chelsea and Greenwood doesn't get to the ball? And everyone's like, if that's Martial, he's getting absolutely blasted, but Greenwood didn't get to it. There was a couple yesterday, Cavani just fell short from crosses from the right side because obviously not expecting them to come in. Jerry, what are your thoughts on the situation? Do you think it's still a striker issue or do you put it down to something else?
No, it's not a striker issue. Like, we've tried Mason up top, we've tried Martial.
All three of them had a chance.
Yeah, exactly. And just the team, man. Like, our creative outlets in the team. I'm looking at the team. Only Bruno, I'll say Luke Shaw, and that's it. And who else is got a creative?
You're Rashford, man. You always praise Rashford.
No. I didn't say he was creative. I just said he's always involved in goals. I didn't say he's creative.
Yeah, but you say that he creates chances as well, which he does, to be fair.
I said if we're gonna score, he's gonna.
I'm putting Rashford in there. I'll put Rashford in there.
I don't think he's a creative. Like, our front three, no one's creative. Like, no one.
No,
I don't even think Rashford's a winger.
He didn't run past anyone.
When have you seen him cross a ball?
That's what I'm trying to say. Then there's no creating that front three. In the midfield, it's only Bruno, the two DNs, Scott and Fred. Don't know. Even the centre
Cavani is known for scoring headers.
Yeah.
No one wants to cross the ball apart from Luke Shaw.
That's exactly what I said. So looking at the strikers, I can't really blame him because obviously with Pogba out, Van der Beek out, no matter the rest of the squad, there's no creative spark in any of these players.
Well, I've got some positive news, to be fair. Obviously, it's been quite, damning, but in terms of creativity, Pereira's coming back at the end of the season, so it's like,
you see, that's another fake. That's another fake Brazilian. That's another fake Brazilian.
I forgot he's Brazilian. I'm not gonna lie.
Nah, he's gonna play as well. He's gonna play in this team.
When we had Fred and Fred in double pivot, Lord have mercy. But listen, Chelsea and Liverpool are gonna kick off very shortly, so I want to wrap it. So just want to get everyone's thoughts on the Rashford and Maguire thing. For me personally, I'm happy he's doing to Maguire. That's all I said. It's not a big deal because it happens on the pitch all the time. I kind of put a tweet out saying he wouldn't do that to Keane or Vidic, and I stand by that. A lot of people would be saying to me, he would do it to Keane and Vidic. You say X, Y, and Z in the heat in the moment. Yeah, you do, but like
not that far.
Not like that. Like, he wouldn't say it like that. Man didn't give a shit who he's talking to. Huge disrespect to the captain, but I loved it because it's Maguire. That's just my best opinion. Barry, what are your thoughts on that? Do you think it's just blown out of proportion?
I just think it's blown out of proportion because it's Man United. I think it's minor. Both players are heated. Rashford looked stressed out yesterday. Things weren't going for him, so obviously he's gonna kick out when he can. So it's just a minor.
Yeah, absolutely. Sean, do you see there's anything in it that Maguire's leadership shocking? I'm just trying to think anything.
No. For me, I think that it actually, it's not a big deal. Stuff happens. I played sports at a pretty high level, and I've captained quite a few teams. And I'm going to say this. The thing that shocked me, though, was not just it's not that they yelled back and forth. That happens. Cussing happens. Listen, I fought people that was my friends in locker room situation. But I'm going to say this. When he said, Harry, you effing knobhead, listen, there's a level of disrespect there that lets me know he don't view him as captain. Period.
That's true.
All of my times, listen, I have one guy ever, right? And this was man that sits on bench that said something under his breath to that level. He called me I'll just say it, Lord, forgive me for saying he called me a dick, but he said under his breath, right? When the other guys on the team heard it, he started getting slapped up by people that was like, that's our guy. You don't go there. And I was like, what'd you say? Like, I will slap the dumb off of you, son. Like, because listen, you don't, there's a difference between going at it, bantering, being mad, cussing, man, and saying it the way he said it, all man, Cunian and everything with the accent and tall. He said, "Yeah, no, man." Like when he said it, I'm like, bruv, to me, it's not a big deal. I agree with what he said. This stuff happens, but it shows me that there's not a level of respect for Maguire as captain, because you don't talk to captain and take it that next place of personal like that is different. Because if Maguire's a captain for real, you move to man when you say certain things. He just is like, yeah, okay, Ratchy. Yeah,
bro, Keen with a clotted man if he said that.
Yeah,
bro,
100%.
Keen with a clotted man.
100%. Like even when I'm playing five-a-side, one of my teammates speaks to me like that. Bro, I'm fucking like, bro, Keen on that pitch. I'm telling you, I would have killed him. I'm telling you, I would have fucking cantonized his ass. But someone said this. Ron said this. What about a hospital pass Rashford played to Shaw? I swear to God, when he played that pass for Shaw and Shaw was limping, I was fuming. That's actually how Shaw got injured last time. Because Rashford played him a hospital pass and he literally exact same scenario. That's how he got injured. Like Rashford was just off it, but called this opportunity to slag Maguire off, so I'm going to give you the opportunity to do so. You know, Rashford's done it for you. I'm sure that filled you with a lot of happiness, bro. What are your thoughts?
All I'll say is this: I hope he said to him in the dressing room as well.
Oh my God! Maguire, to be fair to him, man, he had a good game yesterday. He kept a clean sheet. Don't forget that. We're second. We kept 7 clean sheets. Don't forget. You flipping Ollie in flipping wannabes and all that good stuff. But yeah, Jerry, just to finish on you, bro, what are your thoughts on that incident? Does it mean anything? Should we strip the captaincy off? Just any opportunity to take it off him, really. What do you reckon, bro?
Yeah, just like Sean said, I think Barrett said it. It's just blown up proportion. But I got to agree with Sean. The way he said, first he said, "F off, man. You effing knobhead." That second bit just told me, he's the type of guy who said, "You're shit. Like, why are you talking to me?"
Yeah. Legit, that's what you're bro. That is 100%.
If he just said F off, then I'll be like, cool. Like, people say that on the pitch all the time. But when he said you effing knobhead, like, nah, that's just. You don't rate it.
That would come from a place that was deep. That
Yeah.
And the thing is, Rashford's a nice guy as well. It's not like he's a horrible guy.
I think Maguire was probably a Tony. That's what it is. That's the problem. You know, it's just trying to take those school meals away. But I just remembered one other thing that I wanted to mention. Obviously, just to get your thoughts. Obviously, David De Gea has not played for 6 games. Just quickly. You know, for me personally, I'm happy that Henderson's getting an opportunity. I actually thought a positive from the game was Henderson. Came out and collected the ball about 4 times. One was about 8 yards out. I know that doesn't sound like a lot, but towards my United fan, over 3, anything over 3 yards, De Gea's not coming. And there was one, I thought, I tease him as he almost went to the penalty spot. He might have been all the to catch the ball, But listen, Barry, what do you reckon? Is this Henderson's opportunity now? This is
of course.
De Gea's wife's good and whatnot.
Now, of course, he was probably one of our best players alongside Luke Shaw yesterday. Made a great save in the last minute of the game as well, 92nd minute, I think it was.
Oh my God!
Yeah. But it's like a breath of fresh air. A keeper coming to collect from a corner or something. It's just. You don't have to wait. You don't have to watch Harry Maguire trying to head the ball out. The keeper, the keeper's going to catch it. But it's just him, his overall gameplay. You can hear him from the TV speaking, shouting at his players, shouting at defenders. Do you know what? It's just things that De Gea doesn't do. Little things. We all know De Gea is a great shot stopper, and what he's done for the club, can't thank him enough. But I think it's time for Henderson to stamp his authority now. And it's not as if we're playing like little games. We're playing big games. We've got Milan he's going to be involved with. We've got City he's going to be involved with. So now's the time to show he can do it in the big games.
Yeah, no, 100%, man. Sean, what do you reckon, bro?
I think that ultimately the things that frustrates a lot of us about De Gea, I think are pretty common. I don't feel like he's ever really been commanding in his box. He doesn't like to come for things sometimes. I think that he likes to make those Hollywood saves, where he could just kind of get to it, but he wants to dive for the camera. However, I think that overall, he's still young as a goalkeeper. And I was against the contract that he got because I felt we should have been already kind of moving on. And there's no way to get rid of De Gea. There's just no way. So we're stuck. We're going to lose Dean Henderson. He has to go on loan or we have to sell him because he's a sellable asset. You can't get – who is going to pay De Gea $400,000 a week? Nobody. Unless we give him away for free. No one's paying that. So, again, bad management. Ed is at the wheel, rolling with his homeboy Ollie, looking at each other, giving each other love letters and all that kind of stuff throughout the week. Because the fact is, we're stuck. Bad management. Hopefully, though, next 4 games, 5 games, 6 games, Dean can do his thing because we're going to see. We're going to find out now.
He's got a big game on Sunday. And Coach, what do you reckon? Do you think this is, a positive that we finally get an opportunity for Henderson to get his chance?
Wouldn't call it a positive because it's under. I mean, it's not even negative circumstances. If it's for the birth of his kid, that's amazing. You know what I mean? So congratulations to those two. But it's an opportunity for me. At the end of the day, you've been fighting. You signed that contract because you're going to fight for the number 1 spot, and this spot has opened. You need to make it so that De Gea is at home watching games and thinking, "Yo, I got one hell of a job when I come back to get back my spot." So just take that in your stride. Obviously. He shouldn't stress about it too much. Just go out there, enjoy his football, and work to the best of his ability. And hopefully it works out. Obviously, the next 6 games are important because right now we're not doing very well in terms of going for consolidating top 4. We keep dropping points. City's a big game. If he comes out of that,
Everton have won. I've just checked the score. Everton
exactly. And to be fair, look, I'm expecting, unfortunately, a massacre. So that one won't affect me too much. But if he makes mistakes that are clear to see, United fans are not going to have any faith in him going forward.
This is the thing. This is the thing.
Yeah, so just be careful, really.
Yeah, Jerry, just to finish up, bro, you're confident with Henderson, obviously taking the reins, spoiling us, catching the ball and all that good stuff. Yeah,
I'm obviously, like Cole just said, it's not a negative circumstance, obviously, with De Gea's girlfriend being pregnant and whatnot. But who's our second league run? That worries me a bit.
Where's Merrill, dude? Like, what's happened to him?
I don't know.
He's the coach, right? This is
good to see League Run on the pitch.
Oh my god!
But going back to I'm kind of happy that the next 6 games this, but in the month of March that are their tough games. So like if we had like a West Brom or Newcastle, it wouldn't really tell me anything about Henderson. The fact that we got West Ham, Man City, we've got AC Milan, we've got Leicester in the FA Cup. Like this will show if he's a United. This will show if he's a United like goalkeeper or quality. So yeah, but I'm looking forward to see. Like I know Sunday we're all expecting a thing, but I see another 0-0. I can't lie. So
I'll take it. Listen, another clean sheet, for the defense.
Another 0-0 or we're losing 5-6-0.
That's the same thing.
I'm telling you,
it's either a 0-0 or we getting moved to.
Yeah.
I learned that. That's y'all's language.
Yes.
Big man ting, you get moved to.
All right, listen, we're gonna be back with the preview tomorrow for the Man City game. So obviously we're going into more detail regarding that tomorrow at 9 p.m. I'm joined by DJ Taps as well. The homie, obviously, another one from Ty's platform and Barrett's platform. So make sure you go show love to that one. But listen, I was going to wrap it by saying thank you to everyone that's tuning in. Obviously, make sure you drop a like, subscribe to the channel for more content. I was going to say podcast, but same thing. But yeah, before we go, as always, Barrett, where can the people find you, bro?
Just find me on Twitter at the moment, at BarrettCallian94. Follow me up, I'll follow back. Going to have some more content for you guys soon. Big up Usmaan for having me.
Absolute pleasure, bro. Sean, where can they find you, bro?
Yeah, man, at WWReds_show on the craziness and the madhouse this football Twitter, or go over and follow my YouTube channel, Worldwide Red Show. The Yankee love the love. Hate, whatever.
Yes, you love to see it. Cody, where can they find you, man? You got to plug that podcast. I've already plugged it for you, but go on, you got to do it again.
Yeah, I'm free midfield over here. YouTube, Free Me for podcast, Free Me for everywhere else, Twitter, Spotify, everywhere else. Just finished with Tony Cotty, so if you want to watch that, it's on our channel, on the YouTube channel. Go watch that live. If you're an audio person, if you're an audio person, I will try and release the audio tomorrow. So yeah, just come in and come check us out.
Yes. Make sure you show love to that. Watch the whole thing. Absolute banger. Apart from when Cody's dad rang. You know, I don't know what was going on there. Cody, you need to silence your phones next time. Pops was trying to get a question in quick time, but that was crack on. Tony was like, whose phone's ringing? Cody's like, oh, shit, man. That man's being put on blast by Pops. But yeah, Jerry, where can the people find you, bro?
Yeah, on the screen, Jerry UTD_, and you can find the YouTube channel United Team Talk. And yeah, man, always a pleasure to be on the channel. As we always say, make sure you subscribe and like, and the road to 2K begins, man. Let's go.
Yes, you'd love to see it. Obviously, make sure you show love to all the boys. You know, make sure you go over, subscribe to their content, and follow them on the socials. You can follow me on Usmaan Talks United. Back tomorrow, 9 p.m. with the homie DJ Tabs. We're going to be talking Manchester United, Man City, obviously Manchester's right. It's been your boy Usmaan. See you at some